Young Orion lived in a village nestled like a seashell against the vast, sighing ocean. His heart, however, felt anchored far from shore, weighed down by the quiet ache of missing his father. A fisherman lost to a sudden summer storm, Orion found little comfort in the bustling docks or the other children's Euro-esque games. Instead, he sought solace on the lonely cliff tops each evening, gazing upwards as the world darkened and the stars began their slow, silent dance across the velvet sky. He felt a strange kinship with their distant light. Cold and beautiful, yet somehow promising secrets whispered on the night breeze. It was during one such lonely vigil that he noticed something extraordinary. The brightest stars seemed to tremble, and faint, shimmering threads of purest silver drifted downwards, tangling gently in the wild grass at his feet. His sorrow momentarily forgotten, a spark of wonder ignited within him. Night after night, Orion returned to the cliff, his small hands carefully gathering the cool, ethereal strands that fell like captured moonlight. They felt like liquid silken ice, humming with a quiet energy that tingled against his skin. At first, he didn't know what to do, simply winding the luminous threads into glowing balls that lit his tiny attic room with a soft, otherworldly radiance. But as the pile grew, a vision bloomed in his mind. Not just any boat, but a vessel shaped by starlight and longing. He began to weave, his fingers moving with a newfound purpose. He crafted a graceful hull that curved like a crescent moon, ribs as delicate and strong as spider silk spun from diamonds, and a mast that reached upwards as if yearning to touch the very stars it came from. The boat grew slowly, shimmering faintly even in daylight, a secret project fueled by grief and a desperate, beautiful hope. The night the boat was finished was impossibly clear. Orion waited until the village slept, then carefully carried his fragile, radiant creation down the winding path to the moonlit beach. The starlight boat seemed to weigh nothing at all, yet pulsed with a cool, steady light. He pushed it into the gentle surf, the dark water lapping hungrily at the glowing hull. Taking a deep breath of the salty air, Orion stepped inside. Instantly, the boat responded, not bobbing like wood, but gliding forward with a silent, effortless grace. It moved as if guided by an unseen hand, slipping through the waves without a splash, leaving only a trail of shimmering phosphorescence in its wake, like liquid stars melting into the sea. He looked back once at the sleeping village, a dark smudge against the land, then turned his face towards the endless, whispering horizon. Soon, the shore vanished, swallowed by the immense darkness. Orion sat in his glowing boat, adrift on a sea of black ink under a dome of countless, watchful stars. The only sounds were the soft sigh of the waves against his luminous hull and the vast, echoing silence of the deep loneliness, deeper than any he'd felt on land, threatened to overwhelm him. His father's face, weathered and kind, filled his mind, bringing fresh tears that traced cool paths down his cheeks. He felt impossibly small, a single spark of light adrift in an infinite, uncaring void. The starlight boat seemed fragile suddenly, a child's dream against the crushing reality of the ocean's depth and his own profound loss. He hugged his knees, the cold seeping into his bones despite the boat's gentle glow, wondering if his quest was merely a foolish escape from an ache that could never truly be soothed. Just as despair threatened to extinguish his small light, the water beside the boat began to churn. A colossal shape, darker than the surrounding night, rose from the depths. Orion froze, his breath catching, expecting some monstrous leviathan, but instead of jaws or tentacles, a single, immense eye surfaced, ancient and wise, reflecting the light of his boat and the stars above like a polished moonstone. It belonged to a whale, a creature of such immense size and gentle presence that fear melted away, replaced by awe. The whale regarded him silently, its massive body a shadowy island beside the glowing skiff. Then, a feeling washed over Orion, not words, but pure understanding flowing into his mind like warm water. A deep, resonant sense of calm, of timelessness, of cycles encompassing both loss and enduring connection. It was a language older than speech. The whale's silent communication held profound meaning. It spoke of the ocean's memory, holding every drop of rain, every tear shed, Every sailor's song it spoke of the stars above, whose light traveled unimaginable distances. A constant presence even when unseen behind clouds or daylight. The whale conveyed that the love Orion carried for his father was not lost. It was transformed, like water into vapor, rising to join the clouds, or like starlight traveling across the void. His father's essence, the whale imparted, was part of the wind now, part of the salt spray, part of the very starlight that had built his boat. The ache wouldn't vanish, but it could coexist with the enduring love, a testament to the bond that even the vast ocean couldn't erase. The immense creatures I held Orion's gaze, pouring ancient comfort into his young soul. A profound peace, deep and resonant, settled over Orion. It wasn't happiness, but a quiet acceptance that felt like solid ground. After drifting at sea, he looked at his starlight boat, understanding its true nature for the first time. It wasn't just made from starlight. It was crafted by his love and longing, a tangible expression of the connection that death couldn't sever. As the first pale streaks of dawn began to bleed into the eastern sky, the great whale gave a soft sigh, a plume of mist catching the nascent light, and slowly sank back into the dark embrace of the deep, leaving Orion alone once more, but profoundly changed. He touched the glowing hull, no longer cold, but warm with the understanding he now carried. He knew it was time to return, guided by an inner compass warmed by the whale's wisdom. The starlight boat turned gracefully. It sailed effortlessly back towards the land, the rising sun painting the waves gold, and rose as the familiar cliffs came into view. Orion saw the village stirring, smoke curling from chimneys. He beached the boat on the same stretch of sand he'd left from stepping onto the solid, damp sand. He turned to look at his creation as the strengthening sunlight touched the shimmering hull. The starlight threads dissolved like mist, leaving only a faint, warm glow on the sand that quickly faded. Orion felt a lightness in his chest he hadn't known since his father left. He carried the ocean's memory and the stars' promise within him. Now he walked up to the cliffs, not to escape, but to remember, to feel his father in the wind and see his smile in the first stars of the evening. Knowing love, like starlight, never truly dies. It only changes its form, and sometimes it builds boats that carry you home.